Joining me now in the hot seat, my very good friend.
What's the hot seat?
You'll find out in 1 second, my man. The host of Hannity right here on Fox News Channel, Sean Hannity. Like I said, my very good friend. Sean, let's start with, let's go with immigration. Let's start with this first. Gang of 8, right? 8 senators say this is what we want to do.
Bad deal.
Bad deal? Are you surprised George Bush weighed in on that?
No, because he wanted it. He tried hard when he was president to get it done himself. You know, what's frustrating to me as a conservative, because I would be open to dealing with 11 million people getting legal status, people that didn't respect our laws, didn't respect our sovereignty. I'd be open to fixing the problem. Right now, it's the law of the land. 1986, 96, 2006, we always say secure the border first. We never secure the border. You know what it's like? I watched this back from the Reagan years. They always say we're going to have spending cuts and tax increases. Get the tax increase, you never get the spending cut. You get the amnesty or the legalization, you never get the border secure. And the government is at such a high level of distrust now. Why they didn't listen to conservatives in the beginning? You know,
so Sean, on one side you have Marco Rubio and the others, and the other side you have Rand Paul and Ted Cruz. Secure the border.
I'm with them.
Okay, so how?
You know, how? You use technology, you hire more agents, E-Verify. We got to make sure that people that entered on, say, a student visa or some other visa, that we track them, that we monitor them. I frankly would build a double fence along the whole border, end the problem, because my greatest fear, Eric, has nothing to do with demographics or elections or politics. My greatest fear is there are a lot of people that hate this country, and if you can get across the border because you want a job, what about that person that wants to bring harm to an American city? I believe that threat's real.
I suggested maybe we privatize the border. Give it to farmers, let them ranch it. If it's a Swiss cheese border, take it away from them. If they secure the border, let them keep it.
You know, this is actually protecting the country is the #1 responsibility of government. It's not putting 50 million people on food stamps and another 11 million people on disability. That's worked in 1 in 5 Americans, now 1 in 6 Americans being in poverty. That hasn't worked out too well. So I think that's their chief responsibility.
Let's say we let these people in, we give them the pass of citizenship, whatever they.
Oh, they're already here.
Obamacare, though. They're going to end up with Obamacare, aren't they?
I don't know if Obamacare survives in the end.
Let's go there.
Yeah. I hope not.
The news of the week is the employer mandate is going to be delayed a year, probably has something to do with the 2014 election. Time to delay the whole thing?
Yes. This is frustrating to me, and one of the reasons I registered as a conservative, not as a Republican, as you know you can do in the state of New York, is because I want the Republicans to stand on their conservative principles. There was a moment back in 1975 when Reagan spoke before CPAC, and he raised a rhetorical question: is it a third party America needs or a revitalized second party? And he answered his own question: a revitalized second party, no pale pastels, but bold colored differences. I'd like to see the Republicans distinguish themselves, offer solutions. Healthcare savings accounts. You have it from the minute you're born to the minute you die. You get a checkup every year. You got catastrophic health insurance, but you don't tap into it every time you stub your toe and run into the emergency room. You manage it. You manage your money. If you retire and you don't get sick, you get to give that money to your family. Yeah, I got to add free market principles. This is about cashing in. Be far more efficient. People would manage their accounts much better. The free market would allow for the best services at the best prices. Free market capitalism.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Egypt. We had Mohamed Morsi escorted out by the military.
Coup. They don't say that.
By definition, if it is a coup, we have to cut off aid. Obama has to stop giving them stuff. We heard this week that they may give him some more F-16s.
That's just like Nadal Hassan, Major Hassan. It was workplace violence as he was yelling Allahu Akbar when he was shooting 13 people and killing a bunch of others. The president, even with his delay of health care, he's circumventing the law. And even Tom Harkin, who wrote the health care law, said the very same thing. Laws are written for a very specific reason. One of the problems I have, or one of the biggest problems I have, is this president does not respect the rule of law. If the health care law does not allow for a delay for businesses, then the president can't act unilaterally. He's supposed to go back to Congress and make that request and see if they will work with him. He can't do that unilaterally. Same thing with the issue of Egypt. Now, putting that aside, why did the United States under this administration support a guy that is a radical Islamist, that referred to the Israelis as descendants of apes and pigs, who's a 9/11 truther? Why would we have given him F-16s, tanks, and $1.6 billion to begin with? That's taxpayer money. He helped push out Mubarak. As imperfect as he was, he did keep the peace with Israel for 30 years. And then he hung in there with Morsi till the end, too, which infuriated me.
He hung in there with Morsi, and now he's been asked, what are you going to do about the $1.5 billion every year we send them? Some are saying it's a coup by definition.
Of course it's a coup.
Constitutionally, you have to stop sending them.
You have to.
Do you stop that? Would that make the region too unstable for us?
Well, they're getting $5 billion from Saudi Arabia, another $3 billion from the United Arab Emirates. It's not like there's going to be a shortage of money. I think those countries recognize the geopolitical significance of Egypt. And this is the moment where the president could have fixed what he did wrong the first time by pushing out Mubarak. With that said, we don't know where that money's going to end up. We don't know where those jets are going to end up, those F-16s. Yeah. And it's very precarious. It could be used against us, Israel.
We keep doing this. We keep sending people stuff, money, jets, tanks, and we're not sure where they're going.
I hate to say this, but we can be a really dumb country. Yeah. That's a dumb thing to do. This is about cashing in this show. It's about people's money. You know what the dumbest thing we do as a country? We have more oil, natural gas, all of this energy, more than the entire Middle East combined, and yet we don't tap into it. That's just dumb.
I got to go in about a minute or so.
Yeah.
Where's your tie?
Well, all right, this is a personal issue.
This is the question I stumped
I've been at this channel for my 18th year now. Yeah. Okay, I was here from day one. I don't like wearing ties. By the way, I wear jeans and sneakers on the set every night on Hannity, and you come in, first thing, no tie. You get no tie. So I don't want to wear a tie. I hate wearing a tie.
I got to tell you, Sean, the first day I walked in the building, Mr. Ailes, we sat down, we talked. I said, one last thing. We shook hands on the deal. He goes, one more thing. The tie, no tie. He goes, no tie, but just for you.
But wait a minute. But you know where I get the ties from?
Trump.
I wear the Trump collection. And by the way, they are the nicest ties out there.
He's doing a good job.
Fairness to the dollar.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. Sean, hey, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.